The thing that is fascinating and surprising is how quickly the world, right, every industry, every organization, private sector, public sector, has embraced generative AI. And now, of course, agentic AI. It's happening much faster than the adoption of any other step change technology. And I think that is really meaningful. And AI is going to shape the future of all of these industries.
Right. Great. Great. And so, in terms of how they monetize the content and any type of digital service for that matter, when Netflix launched advertising, it was kind of a advertising tier. It's big news, but content monetization through advertising has been there for a long time. That's how it started in the beginning, right? Yeah. It's nothing new. Now, hybrid monetization models are pretty much guaranteed. Everybody's experimenting with. And in terms of hyper personalization, and what other models you are seeing, and also we are likely to see.
Yeah. So I think there's a few things in there, right? So let me separate it out. I think you're absolutely right. The combination of both kind of ad supported and subscriber based monetization has been around for a long time. I mean, effectively that's linear television, right? In some sense. And as over the last 15 years, we've shifted to this direct to consumer paradigm with streaming and OTT. Media organizations, I think, have all realized that they don't have a handle on the overall cost model, right? The operating cost model. What are the investments? How do you stay on top of innovation? How do you invest in content that ultimately is key? How do you super serve your audiences and do all of that in a way that allows you to not just cover your costs, but be profitable and grow? There was these analysts that watched the industry came out and said, more or less everybody that's moving into streaming needs to own the technology stack.
Right.
That supports. And as you've been in this industry for a long time, you see like the pendulum swing back and forth in terms of the ownership of do I need to own the technology, develop the technology, manage it, et cetera, or can I outsource it? And it varies by organization. But I think 2 years ago, those same analysts showed up and said, okay, maybe we had it wrong, right? Yeah. Maybe the reality is very few media companies can own the technology stack because it's not their core competency. And the amount you have to invest in the advancement and the continuous innovation of that technology does not allow for those organizations to actually equally invest where they actually are differentiated, which is going to be in the content, right? And the things surrounding the content. So I think a shift in media organizations is like, how do we unwind our ownership of this technology stack, and who can we work with that can serve our needs and be agile, but handle it right in more cost effectively in a way. Yeah. And by the way, I think that's the conversation that's happening, but there's another conversation that I think needs to be had. And I don't know that it's happening at the level that it should, which is this question of what does a media company look like in the future?
I think one example we have seen very close is NBA, how they use technology to create that superior experience to the fan, right? And, it's really an amazing team. And more importantly, really, when a fan, based on who the fan is, if they the favorite team and their view of the app is completely different based on the fan, and then a lot is changing, and it really opened my eyes after we started working with NBA and how tech can be used. You touched on the content discovery also, right? I mean, recently Google published that people spend up to 3 hours weekly searching for content. I'm one of them, by the way. So it's like, you want to watch something? Okay, where do I find it? How is Google Cloud helping media companies leverage this multimodal AI to solve both content discovery and monetization challenges?
Yeah, this is a real problem. I think we've often referred to it as, one is the paradox of choice. When you have a service and you have too many choices, you don't know how to get to what you really want. And then the other is, I know what you want. We're trying to find the thing. And then we finally agree on a piece of content, a movie, but then we had to figure out where it was available, right? And I think that this first world problem that we have is, in fact, a pretty significant problem, because not only do we have consumers unsatisfied, often this will lead to churn or abandonment, right? Recommendations and search are two critical areas of investment that are truly leveraging the power of data and AI to actually improve the user experience, so that, one, on the recommendation side, what is actually presented to you is curated based on all the data signals that you've provided about you and your interests and your watching history, et cetera. That's pretty straightforward. It's continuously evolving and getting better, right? High propensity viewing items.
Yeah.
The other side of that is search, which is, how do I empower the user to not have to think about structuring their search query or fitting within or conforming to structured metadata? Instead, allow me to use natural language to actually find what I want. So I want to, and more than that, allowing me to search in a way that is independent of like actor and title, but it could be, I'm looking for that movie that took place in San Francisco. It was a vampire film, and there was a scene where they're driving across the Golden Gate Bridge in a red convertible. Like, why doesn't the system know that? Because it should understand what's in the content. The third dimension beyond that is, how do I now use AI and like superpowered AI assistants, right, that actually understand the library of content and can say, hey, Vijay, what do you feel like today? Right? Let me have a conversation with you and ascertain what I might want to present. And the example of, you had a long day, it's been a long week, it's Friday evening, you're tired, you've been traveling, you just want something lighthearted, right? I suggest following comedies, because I know you like these actors and you like these films. This is one that just entered our library that I think you're going to love.